Is it time?
Yes.
Looks like time to me. All right. We'll go ahead and start. We'll begin our meeting. Today is the 13th day of October of the year 2015. We welcome you to our Board of Commissioners meeting on this date. We are grateful for you being with us here today, both those who are here in person and those who are here on our YouTube channel. We excuse Commissioner Bell, who is not able to be with us today. We'll begin with our invocation, which will be offered by Commissioner Ebert, our Pledge of Allegiance, which will be led by Mr. Hatch, our Clerk Auditor, and our Thought of the Day by Commissioner Gibson. Commissioner Ebert.
Our kind, gracious Heavenly Father, we humbly bow our heads this day to give thanks for this great country we live in and for this wonderful state and community that we have been so fortunate to be born into. We ask that as we go through this meeting today, your Spirit will abide with us, that it will direct us and guide us in all things. We are indeed grateful for the blessings of prosperity that we enjoy in this great country, and we ask that you will strengthen us to work and live in a manner that will allow us to continue that. And we humbly ask for these prayers and blessings in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Please stand. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We would also like to thank Mr. Crockett, Chris Crockett, who is here filling in for Dave Wilson. We appreciate you being here with us. Chris is one of the attorneys, the great attorneys down in our county attorney's office, and does a great job for us. And we are grateful to have you here with us today, Chris. Sounds like several of our civil attorneys are headed down at an attorney's conference of some kind, right?
Yeah, we're heading to Moab, so it's going to be rough.
Yeah, I'll bet. So you couldn't get out as quick as they could. Okay, thought of the day. So I was scrambling, trying to find a thought, and it's fun. It's interesting. These thoughts, to the extent that there's a theme, I have to admit, I pull the ones that I kind of feel like I need at the time, and when I see something that kind of relates to my life, I tend to grab it and hope that it helps me in the process. And I will admit, I sometimes get a little bit carried away in my work and kind of forget to do everything that I should do with my family. And generally speaking, that goes on for quite a while until I get brought back into line by the most loving and patient woman that I've ever known, and that happens to be my wife. She is very, very kind, but has this way of letting me know when it's time to straighten up and fly right. And when I saw this little quote, I thought, this is kind of what she's been telling me here for the last couple of weeks, by Marilyn Monroe. And it says this: a career is wonderful, but you can't curl up with it on a cold night. And when I think about how that really extends to our families, it helps me to want to do better, because obviously our relationships, not just with our spouse or significant others, but with our children and our mothers and fathers and brothers and sisters, in the end, those are what are truly important. And so many times we put those things off because we take them for granted. We assume that they're always going to be there. And what I've found is that those relationships are just like any other relationships. They need to be nurtured and fed and watered, and they need to have some time given in order for them to grow and be appropriate. And it's just one of those areas that I know that I can do a little bit better. And so I felt like this one was one that spoke well to me, and hope that it helps each of you as well as you consider those things that are important to you in your life. And Commissioner Ebert, thanks for giving me some options as I was panicking and walking out the door. I think that's probably one of the reasons why you thought of that one too, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, moving along. To our consent items. Item number 1 is a request for approval of purchase orders in the amount of $152,048.65. Request for approval of warrants number 325808 through 325938 in the amount of $541,070.21. Request for approval of minutes for the meeting held on October 6th of 2015. Request from the Golden Spike Event Center for approval to surplus 3 mobile stages and a 1963 12-ton asphalt roller.
Ricky?
Ricky.
Yeah. Okay, for purchase orders, we issued 33 purchase orders this week. 61% of that, the amount of 152,000 is, or 92,000 related to the library. So it's for audiobooks, digital media, and some floor cleaning equipment. 8% or 12,000 went to the roads, and that was mostly for rotomilling. And then the rest was spread pretty evenly amongst the other departments. As far as our checks go, 131 checks were issued this week for $541,000. It was spread out quite a bit. The largest amount was 24%, or $130,000. That was for transportation development, and that was for Skyline Drive project. 17%, or $94,000, went to the ramp organization for the North Ogden restroom renovation. 14%, or $75,000, went to the library for books and ebooks. And 11%, or $60,000, went to the health department for medications. 9%, or $50,000, went to the jail, and that was really spread out. There was no one large purchase that counted for that. That's it.
Well, since the library came up as part of that, I don't know if Holland, did she leave, Paige? I can't see her. She must have. I just gotta say how excited I'm starting as we see that Roy building. If you've been by that Roy Library, it's looking good. It's getting close. We're still looking at probably just after the first of the year. Is that right, Commissioner Ebert, for a grand opening?
We're probably looking into the first part of actual February.
Okay.
There'll be a tremendous amount of time in them moving books over, getting the shelving and all those types of things put together and put up. So probably the first part of February.
Okay. And the reason I referenced Holland is I don't want to take away any announcement or anything that she'd like to make, but I'm going to go ahead and make it because I don't know what, I know that it's been out there, and that is that Weber County's bond rating for the library bond series has just recently been announced again, and as the renewal, and again, just continue to be extremely impressed and proud of the financial management of the county, and these high bond ratings that we received on the library bond the last time as it went around, the AAA bond rating. They're hard to get. They are extremely hard to get. It has just been amazing to see as we really sat down with these bond agencies, these rating agencies, and asked for what they look for, and specifically asked them in what kind of company we were in, and we're told that we were just within a handful west of the Mississippi. I mean, just a huge.
The number was 7. Is that correct, Ricky? Do you remember?
Yeah, that sounds right. 7 counties.
Yeah, and those are hard to get, but they're harder to maintain. And the fact that we were able to receive that bond rating a couple of years ago as we went into this library construction project, and then now that has been reissued and reaffirmed again, that AAA bond rating. I mean, it's quite an accomplishment, and I'm just grateful for all the good folks who take such good care and watch over the funds here at the county, and frankly for good commissioners and good policymakers who set good policy direction that allow that for those ratings to be where they are. It saves literally the taxpayers of our county millions and millions of dollars over time, and it's a neat thing to see that happen again. So we're grateful for the rating agencies and their willingness to really dig in and ask questions that are appropriate to what we're trying to do and understand our financial picture. But more than anything, they have to see the results of what they're looking for, and they're seeing that in Weber County, and we're able to do some amazing things and accomplish some amazing things because of the fact that we have made those types of decisions in the past. So grateful for that. Commissioner, you want to add to that?
And I would just add really quickly, I think sometimes because we are the ones that sit up here, we don't maybe, you may not understand or you may not know, but it's a team effort. And we probably need to recognize our clerk auditor, Ricky Hatch, and our county treasurer, John Bond, for the tremendous amount of work they do in being able to anticipate those factors and assist us in giving us good information to help us make good decisions to retain that bond rating. So I thought it would be important to recognize them as part of this overall county team that's made this a successful bond rating experience.
Thanks.
So what about maybe 1,500 counties west of the Mississippi? We're in.
Yeah, we have about 3,200 nationwide, right?
And we're within the, I think we're number one, but at least in this case, top 20,
Okay.
nationwide, and
Yeah.
that is so. To me, that's really amazing. So, hope you'll pass that on, Ricky, to all the folks in your office, your staff, and John Ulibarri as well in his office and his staff, or excuse me, John, all of them, but I meant in this particular case, John Bond.
We like Ulibarri too, but don't tell him.
Anyway, pretty cool stuff. We're excited about it. So we'll go forward and we'll continue to accomplish the mission of the county, and in this particular case, the library system as we build out this system. So
The only question I have is, we don't think we can get a couple more years out of our 1963 asphalt roller? We can't get in a couple more years out of that? It's not that old. It's a couple of years older than me, and you're not putting me out to pasture, right? All right.
I'm not going to answer that.
I'll make a motion, we adopt the consent items as read.
All right, motion, and I'll second the motion, and we do have a motion and a second then to approve and adopt those consent items. Is there discussion to the motion? Okay, seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, any opposed? It passes. To our action items, item number 1 is request for approval of a three right-of-way contracts on the 3500 West project. And Jared is not here, but replaced today, and most days by Dana Schuler. Thank you, Dana, for being
Good
here
morning.
in Jared's place. And these are standard contracts that we've been having in front of us for several months now. Anything unique or different about any of these that we should know about, Dana?
No, sir. These are, like you said, the standard ones, and I think both projects are moving along quite nicely.
Okay, great. All right, any questions from the commission or a motion?
365, 66, and 67.
I'll make a motion that we adopt contracts 365, 366, and 367. Approval of the three right-of-way contracts for the 3500 West project for Wesley and Sherry Robinson, Val Carver, Jared Prince.
Okay, I'll second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, any opposed? It passes. Item number 2 is a request for approval of 2 rights-of-way contract for the 12th Street project. Same situation, just a couple of different names on a different project. Any questions on this item, or Dana, any unique
Not as
things that
far
we
as
should
I
be
know.
aware of? Okay,
I'll make a motion, we adopt contract 368 and 369, which is an approval of 2 right-of-way contracts for the 12th Street project for an Anthony and Eliza Lyons and Egan Farm Services.
okay. Is there any further discussion to that motion? Okay, seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? It passes. Item number 3, request for approval of a contract by and between Weaver County and Grant McKay Trucking for the demolition of a property. Dana, you want to fill us in on that one?
This is one home on Skyline Drive that we acquired and needs to be demolished in order for the road project to proceed.
Have we demolished it already?
No, sir.
Okay, because we had a contract last week, we approved that we'd already demolished the house, so I was just making sure we did it twice in a row.
That was
Not as far
that
as I
was
know,
not
I
for
should
approval
say.
to demolish it. That was to pay the guy that did it.
No, I should say not as far as I know. So this is for the Skyline one.
Okay. We're busy doing lots of stuff, so
I'll make a motion that we approve contract 370 by and between Weaver County and Grant McKay Company for the demolition of a property on the Skyline project.
And I'll second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? It's unanimous. We are,
Thank you.
Dana, thank you for being here. We appreciate your efforts. Okay, item number 4, request for approval of an interlocal agreement by and between Weber County and Hooper Water Improvement District for their election services.
Commissioner, I just texted Ryan to have him come in, so if we can move that just.
Okay, I'll move down for a minute.
Thanks, sorry about that.
That's okay. Item number 5, request for approval of a cooperative agreement by and between Weber County and USU Extension for a new contracted finance educator position. Chris, this looks like you.
This is an agreement between Weber County and Utah State University Extension Services for a financial educator position. This is a continuing relationship that Weber County has had with USU Extension. The only significant changes to the contract that is before the county commission at this time is that instead of having it be a contract for a duration of 1 year, that would change to a duration of 4 years. And there is also included a provision, since it's going to be extended for a period of time, to allow the parties to terminate that contract upon 60 days' notice. And so there is one typographical change that would have to be made. It's on page 3, section J. Currently it says the duration of the agreement shall be for a term of 1 year. That needs to be changed to 4 years. And we would just cross that out, write an initial, and then I would need to get the initials of the other signing party.
And then we do have the additional language with the 60-day opt-out.
Correct.
Excellent. All right, Commissioner, any questions on that?
So if I read this right, there's no additional funds to be expended. It's the 6,000, which it is yearly, just over 4 years.
Correct.
The 24,000. Okay.
Yes.
Other questions?
Seems to make sense. All right, if there's no other questions, would you like to make a motion,
I
Commissioner?
will. I'll make a motion that we approve contract, are we just doing 371, or did you want to skip it? 371. Contract 371, which is an approval of a cooperative agreement by and between Weber County and the Utah State University Extension Services for a new contracted finance education position, with the stipulation of changing J, which is from a 1 year to a 4 year.
Okay, I'll
Contract.
second the motion. Any further discussion? Okay, seeing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? We are really grateful for what they do out there. That's a great organization. That's a good partnership. So we appreciate that. Motion passes. We'll move back to item number 4. It seems we see that Ryan's here, and we have this request for approval of an interlocal cooperation agreement by and between Weber County and Hooper Water Improvement District for election services. Good to see you, Ryan.
Good to see you as well. Good morning.
Got anything going on right now?
And just a little bit. It's good. We have about 3,500 ballots or so that have come back in already.
good.
So really, really positive results so far.
Great.
So you have before you an interlocal agreement
Okay.
with Hooper Water District.
Sure.
When I came on, we didn't have an agreement with them. We had it with most of the cities. And they had a couple of late write-in candidates that forced them to have an election this year. And so we just wanted to make sure that we were able to do that election for them and help them with that. So that's what this agreement is. The language in it's pretty standard, as we have with the municipalities. And we're just billing them at a rate per active voter. Just for simplicity's sake, we thought that would be the best approach with this.
This is a good move. I've been frustrated over the years. Some of these small districts sometimes hold their elections on their own. And that makes it really hard when you have to go to 2 places to vote.
Yeah, and they've been great to work with at Hooper Water, so it's really, really fun to get those relationships built up and the trust between us, so it is a good thing for voters.
I'm glad that they're doing this. It makes it much more accessible to the voters. So. All right, any questions on this one, Commissioner?
Just really quickly, you're billing them at 0.56 for active registered voters within a municipality and 0.84 for registered voters in an unincorporated county. What's the purpose for the difference in billing?
When they're within a city, there's 3 entities. There's us, there's the city, and the district. When they're unincorporated, it's just us and the district. So that's the
So
difference.
the cost is split between the 3 entities?
Correct, yes.
Okay. No, I have no other questions.
Okay. Motion then.
I'll make a motion, we approve contract 372 approving an interlocal cooperative agreement by and between Weber County and Hooper Water Improvement District for election services.
And I'll second the motion. Discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Thank you for that.
Could I ask
unanimous vote.
a quick question? Have all of our mail-in ballots been mailed?
Yes, they were all mailed last Monday.
So, off topic, do we have a process to, are we doing any type of media campaign? If you have not received your mail-in ballot, please contact, because I've had some people ask me, when do the mail-in ballots come in? I'm like, I believe they've all been mailed.
To check their mailbox.
So is there a process that if someone doesn't believe they have received it, even if they've checked it, are we doing any media on that to let everybody know, and if they haven't, to double check their mailbox, but to contact us if they haven't? That would be my only concern with the mail-in.
Yeah, we've done a little bit on social media, but outside of that, I don't believe there has been any other information put out on that.
Okay, because personally, we check our mail, and I haven't seen mine yet, so I'll go double check my mailbox just to make sure. But that was my only concern with mail-in, is maybe we need to do some follow-up media, maybe work with the Standard or somebody, let them know, and if you give them a hotline or something, if you haven't received yours or you have a concern, please do some follow-up. I think that would be
That's a
beneficial
good
to our
idea.
public. Thank you very much. Thanks for
welcome.
everything you do.
You
Nice
bet.
to have you on board.
Have a good one.
Commissioner, you're working too much. You need to check your mail.
I know.
All right. Do I need to read the thought of the day again?
No, you don't.
'Cause I can give a lecture along with that if you'd like. My wife, we got ours, and we have both turned ours in already.
Maybe I mailed and I wasn't aware what she voted for.
If you didn't sign the envelope, it's not going to be counted. You'll get a call from us.
That's right. We're good about that. Okay, we'll move on then to our public comment. Is there any from the public who would like to comment today? Okay, no one in the audience is looking up, so that means, so that looks like we don't have any public comment. To move on then, our assignment of the Pledge of Allegiance and thought of the day. The Pledge of Allegiance, Chris, are you going to be here next week?
Yes, I will be.
Okay, we'll assign that to Chris Crockett. Thought of the day, Shelley will take care of sometime in between so that we get it right this time. And we'll move to our final item on the agenda.
Make a motion, not a motion. I'll make a motion. We adjourn.
And I'll second that motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, we're adjourned.